It's that time again for another edition of the Roadrunners Coaches Corner, the show where we get you caught up on MSU Denver sports with our athletes and coaches that come on and provide some insight into how their season is going. As always, we're here at the Auraria campus at the Tivoli Tap House. Join us every Monday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. Come out, enjoy the beers, enjoy the great atmosphere, and possibly meet a player or coach. I'm Stephen Priest, and alongside me, as usual, is Celeste Zubia. Celeste, how you doing tonight?
I'm good. It's Monday. I'm a little tired.
It is Monday.
I'm good.
It's very nice out, though,
yeah.
So hopefully that'll carry us through. We have a jam-packed show, as usual. Who do we have on today?
So to start off the show, we're going to have men's basketball interim head coach, Michael Ball. He's going to kind of talk to us. They beat UCCS over this past weekend, so that's going to be good to just kind of talk to him about. The women's golf coach, Ben Porty, as well, and women's golfer freshman Jennifer Hankins. So all three of them will be on the show today.
Huge show, so you don't want to miss that. But before we bring the guests on, it's time to recap the weekend that was in Roadrunner sports. We'll start with men's basketball, and the Roadrunners came through with a big win, as Celeste mentioned, over rival UC Colorado Springs this past Saturday. 4 Roadrunners scored in double figures to help secure the team's top spot in the RMAC tournament. There's one more week left in the regular season, and there's an outside shot our red and blue can finish in the top 4 to gain a home playoff game in the first round.
The women's team is on a major roll these days, and they continued their great play with the huge 82-66 win over second-place UC Colorado Springs. Jalen Smith lit up the stat sheet, scoring 15 points, grabbing 7 rebounds, and dishing out 9 assists. The win clinches a spot in the RMAC tournament, and Coach Jave's squad will try to finish in the top 4 to earn a home playoff game in the first round.
The softball squad played in the St. Mary's tournament in San Antonio, Texas this past weekend and finished second overall. Coach Annie Van Wetsinga's team went 3-2 in the tournament, which included 2 victories over number 12 Central Oklahoma. Those are huge regional victories for the Roadrunners as they now improve their record to 6-7 overall.
The indoor track and field team was in action this past weekend in the Joe Davies Classic in Golden. Zach Boyd was the first to cross the finish line in the 200-meter dash. Saweed Moreno finished second in the 400-meter dash, while Ryan Butcher finished 4th, and Robert Carlson continues to dominate in his jumping events. The freshman finished 3rd in the long jump and 3rd in the triple jump. Visit roadrunnersathletics.com for the complete list of performers from the meet.
And finally, the men's tennis team kicked off its 2017 spring season with a 4-3 win over Southern Utah and Greeley. The Roadrunners swept the double matches with number 1 doubles team of Josh Greats and Joey Sherney defeating their opponent 6-3. In singles play, Greats, Sherney, and Sam Stember all won their matches to bring home the W. Head coach Daniel Hangsteffer and his squad will next head to Colorado Springs to take on Air Force Academy. And we now welcome in assistant or co-coach right now, Coach Michael Ball of your men's basketball squad. Coach, thanks so much for taking out the time to join us tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
To start things off, Coach, obviously you took on UC Colorado Springs this past weekend on Saturday night. How did you think the team looked? And for these type of games, when it's just one game per weekend, do you maybe practice a little bit harder? How does that change things when you prepare?
You know, it's a big change from our normal routine. Obviously, we don't want to burn these guys out because it is a long week. So we actually took Monday off and did a light workout on Tuesday and then really got to work on Wednesday, just working on us, to be honest with you. We didn't really talk about UCCS until Thursday or Friday.
Okay.
Because this time of year, it's really sometimes you can get caught up in, worrying about the opponent more than you worry about yourself. So we really just try to concentrate on us this week and talked about UCCS, and I thought we did a great job of executing the game plan.
So you guys took on UCCS 6 games ago, and they beat you down in their place in Colorado Springs. So did you kind of look at that game to prepare for Saturday's game, or was it kind of just a thing of do what you need to do and things will work out themselves?
No, we definitely took a look at that first opportunity when we played them. It came down to we didn't necessarily play our best. And we did a couple things in terms of scheme-wise. We knew UCCS was a big team out of transition. They like to get up and down, and I was actually a little worried, to be honest with you, to start the game when they scored 20 points in the first, 8 minutes. I looked at Coach Wall, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're on pace to score 100 points. So I thought we did a decent job after the first 8 minutes, settling down. And they're a team that averages 79 points, and we held them to 59. So I thought our kids did a great job of just executing the game plan and keeping them out of transition and really trying to make them work for every point they had.
Well, Coach, speaking of transition, Your team really opened things up. At halftime, it was a 1-point game, but then the offense kind of gets together. You guys, I always say the best offense for you guys is coming from that defensive side. Transition opened up for you. What was said or maybe changed or addressed during halftime to kind of get that thing flowing?
I thought sometimes, as coaches, we just need to get the heck out of the way.
Yeah.
We maybe probably did a little bit too much scouting the first half in terms of maybe too cautious. So at the start of the second half, we said, you know what? We need to get up and play Roadrunner basketball. We need to get in and pressure and sort of speed the game up. And obviously, we go from a 1-point lead and we go on an 8-0 run instantly with a couple dunks from Alec Williams had one. So I think it just opened the game up. That's how we need to play. We need to play in transition. Like everybody in America, I mean, it's really, really hard to score in the half court. So the more opportunities we can get in transition, either off missed basket or with our defense, the better we are.
So UCCS made a run, and you guys were able to hit down some, clutch free throws. You guys were 7 from 10 from that night, and that was really just showed a clutch moment for you guys that game.
Yeah, no, I think, the past 6 games we've played a double overtime game versus Westminster. Mm-hmm. We played a close game up at Black Hill State. Then we played a tough game last Saturday versus Regis. So I think all those close games are starting to pay off. Some go your way, some don't. And this time of year, we told our guys, it's going to come down. It's in our favor, all the close games we've played throughout the season. It really is in our favor. We know how to play in those tight situations, and we've struggled from the free throw line this year at times. And I thought down the backstretch, Bunama Keita hit a huge free throw to put us up by 3. Then Brian Howard makes 2 free throws to put it to 5. Those are easy baskets. Those are some of the opportunities that we always try to work on. And, I was really, really happy. I don't know if you guys saw Bunama when he made that free throw. Sometimes you got to be your best cheerleader.
Yeah.
He went excited for that free throw. But that's the kind of excitement we want. Mm-hmm. We want to be happy, and, he's putting work in from the line, and I'm just glad it paid off for him.
Yeah.
Coach, one of the biggest keys to that victory on Saturday night was keeping Trayshawn Wilford, UCCS's leading scorer, in check. In that first game against you guys, he had 18, 9, and 5. Struggled against you guys last Saturday. 0 points, 0 of 5 shooting, 4 turnovers, 4 fouls, just 1 assist. Was that a huge priority coming into this game?
I think most definitely. I mean, I think every coach in America would agree that you want to take away the known.
Yeah.
Each team's got a best player or a go-to guy, and our guys took the challenge. We did a very poor job the first time we played him. Again, he got a lot of his stuff in transition. He's a very athletic player, good player, senior. He's been around the traps for a while. So I thought our guys took the challenge, and that was very important to, limit him and make someone else beat us. And obviously I thought we did a good job of that, and, we got the result we wanted.
So, Coach, the win, we believe, has clinched you a spot in the RMAC tournament, and, for you guys, that's just a yearly goal that's accomplished by the program. So, at this point of the season, are you guys celebrating, or are you guys just kind of, back to business and try to grab, a playoff game, home game?
I think you always try to keep it in perspective. We've done quite a bit of winning here over the years, and sometimes when you win so much, you sort of lose perspective on just how hard it is to win. So we told the guys we need to enjoy this. They don't come very often. We need to continue to enjoy and put the work in. But like you said, I mean, we always have aspirations. We want a home game Tuesday night.
Yeah.
We know it's a big challenge ahead of us, but our number one goal is to take care of business on Friday versus CCU.
And Coach, in these rivalry games, how much does the revenge factor play a role in these types of games?
It's huge. I mean, I'm not gonna downplay it one bit. Obviously, when you play the Denver teams, Springs, Regis, CCU, Mines, it's very important. We see those guys all year. In the summer, every night, that's bragging rights, and we know we got embarrassed the first time when we played CCU and Colorado School Mines. So that's definitely going to be on our minds, but they're college basketball players too, and they're going to probably be on edge just like we are, because it's towards that end of the season. Everyone's sort of jockeying for position, so we got our work cut out for us. But I think our guys are up for the challenge.
Coach, we thank you for taking out the time tonight to sit down with us, talk about the game. Best of luck this weekend against Mines.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Colorado Christian.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Be sure to check out RoadrunnersAthletics.com and Portal Stretch to watch the games if you can't make it out to Lakewood or Golden this weekend to keep up with the men's squad and all that they do. That'll do it for Coach Ball, but coming up next, we'll talk with head golf coach Ben Porty. You don't want to miss what he has to say next on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner.
Dobinson stops on a dime, now to Cortez. The Cortez beating, count the bucket, and a foul.
If you can't get enough of MSU Denver sports, then you need to tune in to the Roadrunner Review. Get into the game with exclusive highlights, interviews, player stories, and of course the top plays that will have you jumping out of your seat. You can catch all the action on Comcast CET and at RoadrunnersAthletics.com.
Hey, nice shot! Great spot! I'm Joe Rice. I'm the Director of Government Relations for Lockheed Martin Space Systems. I transferred into MSU Denver while I was in the Colorado National Guard and after I completed my associate's degree. This was the only university where somebody actually sat down with me and helped me plan out my academic path to finish my degree and graduate on time. Reach for the stars, come to MSU Denver, launch your career.
Brought to you by your #1 volume Nissan dealer, Tynan's Nissan. Come in today and choose from nearly 1,200 new Nissans. Get 0% for 72 months with no payments for 90 days. During the Bottom Line event, lease the new Altima for only $149 per month. Gives you both efficiency and performance. Looking for an SUV? Then choose the all-wheel drive Rogue at just $159 per month. Also available with optional third row seats. Bottom Line savings at Tynan's Nissan in Aurora and Fort Collins.
I'm Raquel Torres, senior guard for the women's basketball team.
Winners, and there's Torres, three-point shot up and
Oh, there it goes.
Raquel Torres, the trifecta.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Andre Harris, senior center for the Roadrunners men's basketball team.
And here's Andre Harris with the jam, bobbing and weaving through traffic.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Thanks for sticking with us here on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner. Before we talk to Coach Ben Porty, we want to remind you to make sure you come on by here every Tuesday at the Tivoli Tap House for Brown Bag Tuesdays, where the Tap House will be offering surprise brown bags of beer for only $3, a great deal you don't want to miss. So now we'll speak with head women's golf coach, Coach Ben Porty. Coach, thanks so much for taking out the time. Second time on the show. How you feel tonight?
It's great. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. On last week's show, we talked with tennis coach Daniel Hangsteffer about the abnormally warm winter we are having so far. Led to some better workouts for his group. How has that kind of affected what you guys have been doing on the golf side?
Yeah, it's been great for us. I watch the weather report like everyone, but especially us. It has been unseasonably warm.
Yeah.
Sometimes those warm days come with a lot of wind, which can affect us, but we've had a lot of great days where it hasn't been that windy either. Anytime we can get out on the golf course, we are. So I tell the girls if it's about 40 or higher, we're out on the golf course if the golf course is open. Sometimes it's 45 and there's still snow on the ground, so we have to do some indoor work, but we started the second week back from school, so we have been outdoors for a good solid month, maybe just a couple days inside, and it's been great for us. I've really seen a lot of improvement, a lot of work from the girls.
So this year your season starts at the beginning of March, but in the past you guys started your spring semester in February. So what's with the late start this season?
Yeah, we as golf coaches, we can kind of pick and choose our schedules. That's the nice thing about it. Last couple years, we haven't started so great. That first tournament back in the spring, we haven't played our best, so I thought I'd switch things up a little bit and maybe start a couple weeks later than we have in years past. So we'll see if it works out. So far, we've had good weather, and we probably could have played a tournament right now, but you never know how that is, and just starting us a couple weeks later this year, I think will benefit us.
Now, Coach, in the fall you guys played in 5 tournaments, finished second in 2 of those, so a pretty good start to the year. What does the schedule look like for the spring, and then how do you feel about this semester or this season's chances in the RMAC?
So we play 6 tournaments, including our RMAC championship in the spring.
Okay.
About 4 of them are probably weighted more heavily than the other 2, only because with the amount of teams that are there, the strength of the field that is there, and so we know we have to beat those teams when we go head-to-head against them. That's how we're ranked, and that's how we're picked to go to regionals. So it starts off right away. Our tournament in Northern California coming up here in a couple weeks. The field is really strong, and we have to compete that week. And that will kind of set the stage for how the rest of the semester goes. So that being said, I think we're very good in our conference. I think we have another shot to win our conference championship. There's a couple teams that are right there, though, too, so it kind of depends how this semester goes. Regis is very good this year. Colorado Mesa is always good. CSU Pueblo is really good. So I really like our chances in conference. but we have to start beating the teams more in our region to be picked to go to regionals and then on to the national championship. So those teams I'm always looking at as well.
So later on in the show, we'll have freshman Jennifer Hankins with us in the final segment. So tell us a little bit about how you found her and what you expect from her to help you lead your team to another RMAC championship.
Sure. So Jennifer is a local girl here. She's from Broomfield, Thornton area. Went to Legacy High School.
Okay.
So I've known her for a few years through her personal golf instructor.
Okay.
I get to know a lot of instructors around town, and that's helps me out in the recruiting process. So I've watched Jennifer for a couple years, about 2.5 years before she committed to come here. She has a sister that I was trying to recruit a little bit that ended up going to University of Wyoming to play golf up there. And I was able to kind of get her here. The new engineering program probably helped us a little bit. She's a great student, and an engineering student, and great to have. So I kind of got lucky having her here, and she's a freshman, as you know, so she'll be here the next 3.5 years, and I get to build the program around Jennifer.
Awesome.
Coach, what does recruiting look like for you being in the sport of golf? Obviously, for other sports like basketball or volleyball, they can watch the film and clips and stuff like that or go to these tournaments or games. Is it different for golf since it's an individual sport, or what are the similarities or differences that you find?
So for us, for golf, we do a lot of our recruiting in the summer. So the girls play high school golf in the spring, but honestly, I probably don't go to any high school tournaments except the state championship. So high school golf's a little bit different than summertime golf. The girls that are wanting to play college golf will play a lot of tournaments in the summer, and that's where we do our recruiting. So we go around our state and find the best girls that want to stay in state. And so that's kind of how we recruit, I guess a little bit different than other sports. We're only looking at recruiting, a couple kids a year. I have 7 or 8 probably on my team that I'd like to keep each year, so I'm looking for the 2 best that want to join us.
Coach, keeping it with like the high school game and stuff like that, what do you find is the biggest difference between golfers coming out of high school, or what do you see that they need to improve on most frequently as they head to the next level?
Everything. I mean, high school tournaments are set up a little shorter. The golf courses are shorter, so I have to make sure their games transition and translate to our game, which is a little bit longer. So a girl like Jennifer, she'll come up. She's a big, tall girl. She hits it a long ways. Her game, I know, is going to translate. The part of golf that's probably the weakest in girls golf is their short games, though. So I'm always looking to have good chipping, good putting, all wedges around the green. Gotcha. So I want to make sure they have the strength and long enough to play our golf courses, but to have a lot of good short game technique as well.
So kind of looking into the future of your team, and you said you had a solid group of 7 or 8 kids that you want to keep here. What's next for your team?
Next year, you mean, or this year?
Yeah, just in terms of next year and this year, and kind of what you hope to have with your group.
I have 2 seniors this year. So I'll be losing those 2 girls that have been great to have. Sabrina's been 4 years with us. Allie Johnston about 3.5 years. They'll be tough to lose, but I have 2 commits already for next year.
Okay.
That'll come in. One girl from California, another one from Colorado. And I'm still looking for a 3rd as well. So I have 3 great juniors, though. I have Jennifer Hankins, who you'll get to meet. I have another freshman, Kika DeZone, that'll be with us. And so we're only going to get better. I think we have a strong nucleus of girls coming back next year. And with 2 or 3 added next year to get to 8, we'll be a strong team.
And Coach, last question to kind of build off that one, a bit of a 2-parter here. Who's a player or maybe players that we should watch for this upcoming spring? And then you being a golfer yourself, how much do you get out there? How much time does Coach Porty spend on the course?
Well, so this year, the girls, my number 1 and 2 girls, Jennifer Hankins and Lindsay Golickson, freshman and junior, will be my leaders of the team. So they lead us at workouts, they lead us at practice. They are working hard. at their schoolwork. I don't have to worry about them academically. Really, I don't worry about any of my kids academically, but I have a great group. But they are my leaders, so I look for them to keep leading us and to have a strong spring semester, as well as next year. They'll both be back next year. My game's a little different. I play a little bit, but I have 2 young kids at home as well. I have a second job where I actually teach golf apart from this. And so I don't get a chance to get out and play too much. When I need to show the girls a shot or two, or make sure they remember I can play a little bit, I might play a little bit with them. But for the most part, my job is to get them better, not to get me better anymore.
Right.
So I want to see them improve and for us to have a great team. So my golf is a little bit limited.
Well, Coach, thanks so much for taking out the time. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. We look forward to talking to you maybe down the road.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks again for having me. Good job.
This season.
Best of luck this season. You kick off your season on March 6th in Vallejo, California for the Tim Tierney Pioneer Shootout. So again, good luck to the girls and Coach Forty for that. Joining us next, as we mentioned, is freshman golfer Jennifer Hankins to give us the 411 on what's being like a golfer in the Mile High City. That's next on the final segment of the Roadrunners Coaches Corner.
Celebration is on for Mike Dunlap.
The Skyhawks celebrate a second national title in program history.
And the winner of the 2006 Harlan Hill Trophy as Division II College Football Player of the Year is Danny Woodhead from Shadron State. ASU! ASU! ASU!
What do we got?
Are you a college student that needs a place to live? Are you still living with your parents and want your own space? The Regency Student Housing is perfect for you. The community offers many amenities such as a fitness center, 2 basketball courts, big screen amphitheater, all-you-can-eat dining hall, bowling alley, arcade, free parking, and a shuttle to and from the Auraria campus. For more information, please call 303-477-1950 or visit our website at regencystudenthousing.com.
I'm Lexi Marr, senior defender for the Roadrunners women's soccer team.
These teams looking for offense, and there's Marr, the all-conference defender.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
I'm Anthony Grant, Director of Athletics at MSU Denver.
It's because of your generosity and support that our athletic programs have been able to achieve sustained success and continue to be one of the top athletic departments in the nation.
And you're watching the Coach's Corner. Get rowdy.
Final segment here on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner. It's always reserved for the players, so we're now joined by golfer Jennifer Hankins. But before we get to Jennifer, just want to remind you, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Metro State Sports. You'll have game recaps, highlights, news, and everything you need to get up to date about Metro State athletics. But Jennifer, first time on the show. Thanks so much for taking out the time. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Of course. Thanks for taking out the time. We got to ask you, we talked to Coach Forty a little bit about it. It's been really warm this winter. As a golfer, does that help you guys? Would you rather it be this way? Obviously, you don't want to be out there shivering cold.
Yeah,
but,
that's not fun.
mean, how has this weather kind of impacted your guys' practices and how you played this season?
Well, it's really awesome because practicing indoors is definitely not as good as practicing outdoors.
Yeah.
So practicing outdoors, you can see the shots, you can see where they're going. Indoors, you're hitting into a net. So, of course, it's nice. And definitely not being bundled up in 6 layers where you literally can't even swing the glove. It's been amazing.
So your spring season is almost here, but tell us a little bit about your fall season. We know you won the Regis Invite to really break out on the scene, so it looks like you had a really great fall season.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat. Like, my team was awesome. You know, they welcomed me, and it was so much fun to play, and I just had fun. Like, it wasn't even about the competition anymore. I wanted to do good for my team, and I wanted to, like, support us, so it was just a lot of fun.
What are some expectations you have coming into the spring for yourself and for the squad?
For myself, I say I want to just keep a good mental, because in golf it is really a lot of mental. Like, you have to keep yourself in the game more than people think. So I think for me personally, I want to do a good mental and keep that throughout the entire season. And for our team, I just hope we have fun. Because if we have fun, then at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. You know, we're going to do our best either way. So at the end of the day, if we have fun and we do our best, you can't do anything else. So.
So you're a local girl coming from Legacy High School in Thornton. We're actually in the same area. I went to Mountain
really?
Range.
Nice.
But tell us why you decided to come play here at MSU Denver.
Well, I kind of liked how close it was to home. Like, I could go home if I need to, but I was like far enough away. And then I also met Coach, and he's an awesome coach. He's a great guy, super funny. You wouldn't realize that, but he's super funny. And I mean, I met the team. They're awesome. It was just such a welcoming atmosphere. So I thought, and then mechanical engineering, that's why I'm in, and they have a great program here. So checked all the boxes.
Awesome. Yeah, way smarter than any of us here on the show. So it's glad to have you on. You mentioned Coach Porty a little bit. Talk about kind of his coaching style and how he's helped you already become a better golfer and a better student athlete.
Well, he's very encouraging. Like, if you're playing bad or something, he'll come at you like, you got this, let's go, just get your mind to it and let's go. And it is so encouraging that you forget about like the bad holes and then you just go. Like, it's awesome. And then he helps me become a better student because he always like wants us to really put our work first also, because like there might be a few days for my degree that I have to miss a few days. So then he allows that to happen. So that's really nice having the balance between practice and actually getting stuff done. So I think he's made it possible for me to actually get this degree. So it's amazing.
So you mentioned that you were mechanical engineering and on your bio at roadrunnersathletics.com says that you have a math minor, so you have nothing in common with us broadcasting majors.
Yeah.
But what are you hoping to do with that degree in the future?
Dream job would be to work at Walt Disney and be an Imagineer. And
oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because I was a theater kid too, so combining my mechanical engineering degree with theater would be awesome.
Yeah.
But then if not, we have a lot of manufacturing emphasis here at Metro, so I think I might, if not, just do something there.
So for those of us who aren't well versed in the job description of an Imagineer, what is that?
An Imagineer is basically, they do the background stuff to the rides. Like they'll create the rides, they'll, like all the fireworks and the lights and everything. Everything behind that, everything behind the rides to you name it.
Interesting.
So yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. You have a sister, Sarah, who plays golf at the University of Wyoming, correct?
I do.
Who's the better golfer? I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's the better golfer? And how intense does it get when you guys maybe play each other on the golf course?
Oh, we get competitive. It's awesome. I mean, we'll both be chipping, like, chipping contest, let's go. So, I mean, it's good competitiveness. Like, it's not like, oh, I won, so I get some prize. No, it's a lot of fun. But, yeah, yeah.
Would you have to go with yourself, though, if you had to choose the better?
I mean, golf is different every day. So, I mean, one day maybe, the next day she might kick my butt. So.
Right. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. It's been a joy to have you on. Best of luck to you in the squad this season. All right, that'll do it for Jennifer Hankins and the rest of the guests. But before we let you all go, it's time to look what's happening in the week ahead for Roadrunners Sports. The indoor track and field team will compete in the RMAC Championships this weekend that will take place in Spearfish, South Dakota. So a big good luck to head coach Janice Christopher and her squad. The men's tennis team is also on the road, and they'll take on the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs on Friday.
Now for some hoops, as both the men's and women's teams are on the short road this weekend to finish out the regular season. They first head to Lakewood on Friday to take on Colorado Christian. Tip-off times are at 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. Then the following night, it's Colorado Mines on the schedule, and those games will start at 5 p.m. and 7:30 in Golden. So get out on that road and support the red and blue.
How about some home cooking for the baseball and softball teams? Head coach Jared Otis, our field correspondent, still hasn't shown up since his last interview, and his baseball team will take on Sioux Falls for a 4-game series at home at the Regency Athletic Complex. Game 1 will take place at noon on Friday. The softball team hosts CSU Pueblo to kick off conference play, and they'll play double headers on Saturday and Sunday with both games starting at noon. So that'll do it for another show. We want to thank you for tuning in and for all of our wonderful guests that joined us today, Coach Porty, Coach Ball, and of course Jennifer Hankins for taking out the time. Always a great time to get to know these athletes and coaches and see how much smarter they actually are than we are apparently. But for Eric Lansing, the man behind the camera, and Celeste Zubia, I'm Stephen Priest. We will see you next Monday, same time, same place on the Roadrunners Coaches Corner.